So bearing false witness against your neighbor, um, believe it or not, honor and good reputation, they're still important to maintain both for you and for other people, as you shouldn't be misrepresenting them. Um, in the sense that you're not doing it to seek approval, like, oh, I'm just being a people pleaser. I'm going to not do what God would want me to do, but I'm going to just do this to keep a good reputation. But in the sense that you're an honest person, and that if you bear false witness, that will tarnish your name, and more importantly, it will tarnish God's command and his law that he gave us. Go ahead.
I'm just reading Lutheran, it just sounds really cursed.
Yeah.
Because this problem appeared to concern us only a little at present, but among the Jews it was extremely common, saying Jews are really good at lying, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But in the time it was written, and perhaps for all time, that's true, right? And you read things in the context they were written, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So, not lying about your neighbor in both good and bad ways. You're not lying for them, but you're doing this for the purpose of your neighbor or your neighbor's integrity and your integrity, that you're being truthful in things. And if you're supposed to bear witness and you're not 100% sure, then it's better to not say anything about something that you're not sure about, because you don't want that to come against you later. For example, if you're a police officer who pulls over a lady for holding a phone in her right hand, and she holds up her arm and she actually doesn't have a right hand, you should probably withdraw that case before it gets to court, because in the civil sense, right, if this guy were to go to court and the defense attorneys were to rip him apart, then his witness would be tarnished for every other crime he tries to bring to court, because it could be something that's true and bad, and he has to go up on the stand for something else, and they're always going to bring up that one thing. So that's just like a civil example, right? But this is a command that is mostly for civil matters, but there's also this spiritual aspect to it. Bear the consequences of standing by the truth. So Martin Luther goes into this a little bit, talking about how even, people are going to call you apostate and heretic, just like people called the Lutherans back, then when the Reformation was first happening. And you should be willing to bear that in integrity, to say, well, yes, but this is something that I do believe to be true. So likewise, you wouldn't want to lie, for example, like Peter, who denied Jesus, right? You don't want to be the one to lie about those kinds of things. And don't publicly judge or reprove your neighbor unless given the authority to do so. So in this sense, we have commands about private confession, and there's things about, privately talking to people who are committing, certain acts, or they're telling you about their sin. But when it comes to these public matters that are held before a civil court, there are people who are given the authority to judge that person. And so we should refrain from those public things unless in that court case, or in whatever instance it is, we're given that authority to make that judgment call. That goes into, again, just the authority God gives to the government, the family, and the church.